All right, let's go. The No Kings holiday weekend is upon us, and it's important for you to know that
I believe in only two things, the First Amendment and boobs.
So we got a lot to talk about today, from the one big beautiful bill to why the charges didn't stick in the Diddy case, from guys who are finally willing to admit the truth to
people who put cheese on raw hamburgers that are sitting on unlit grills for fake photo ops.
Of course, I'll answer all the tough questions, like which one of these women has more balls? How long can California criminals keep hiding? What will grocery stores look like in New York under Mamdani? Is it okay to tell your grandkids that this is Cowboy Carter? How did Barney get the day off to go lather up in baby oil? What would it look like if they recreated Friends in Asia? Is Kathy Griffin establishing new levels of Trump derangement syndrome? And what does Jasmine Crockett look like without eyelashes?
Lord have mercy, that is the biggest issue that we had.
So if any of the words I say make your butt hurt, I'm sure you'll let me know down in the comment section. You can rest assured that no one will be stealing your jokes, and I will be firing back. Because on this channel, we don't shy away from the inconvenient truth.
There's a reason that women live longer, Mark. Let me tell you, it is because we are stronger and we are happier at the end of the day than most men. And that is factual, and you know it.
When men are married to women who scream like you, they just want to die sooner.
And I'm not afraid to share the hard facts.
I don't think the Democrats understand that it's over.
So as you're enjoying the undisputed one and only No Kings Day, just remember, we could have had 4 more years of this.
She knows so long as she was 9, our freedom can never be secured.
But instead, we get this.
The first pick in the Alligator Alcatraz draft, Florida selects Glizzy Gator, Ohio State. Now here's a Gator who everyone knew would go number 1.
All right, let's check in on Ripple and XRP.
We believe XRP DeFi is very important, and obviously a stablecoin is a huge component of that. We would like to find a path to get real USD on Cardano. What they said is, in principle, it sounds interesting, but a lot of things have to be figured out about, well, how exactly would that work, and how would integration work in these other things? So, and also, do they want to go through a routing like layer 0, which is starting to happen with a lot of these guys, or do they want a direct integration and issuance with it? So we said, look, we'll do the integration for free because we like the XRP community, but we're still ongoing conversations of whether we can come to terms and if that makes sense for both parties.
Ripple has applied for a national banking license, joining the rush of cryptocurrency companies seeking to cross the divide into mainstream finance. And we see this from Brad. True to our long-standing compliance roots, Ripple is applying for a national bank charter from the Office of the Comptroller of Currency. If approved, we would have both state and federal oversight, a new and unique benchmark for trust in the stablecoin market. But this may be the biggest news of all from Ellie Terret. In addition to applying for an OCC trust charter, Ripple has also applied for a Fed master account through standard custody, which it acquired last year. She says being granted a Fed master account is a much bigger deal than getting granted an OCC charter in terms of access. It was described to me by a banking lawyer this way. In terms of tiers, a master account is diamond, bank is platinum, trust companies are gold, and money transmitter licenses are silver. The Swiss-regulated AMINA Bank becomes the first bank globally to support Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin, offering custody and trading to institutional clients. And ISO 20022 for the Fedwire Fund Service will be implemented on July 14th. And real quick, if you're tired of constantly watching charts and stressing over market swings, there's now a much easier way to maximize your crypto profits. This is called Cortex Trade, a fully automated, AI-powered trading bot that's designed to accelerate your portfolio growth. And I want to thank them for sponsoring this video. Cortex runs 24/7, scanning market trends, real-time news, trading volume, and even social sentiment to make smart, lightning-fast trades across major exchanges like Binance, Bybit, and KuCoin. Cortex is perfect for beginners, yet powerful enough for experienced traders. From your dashboard, you can track your profits, monitor trades, and manage your settings with full transparency and control. Cortex also builds in risk management features like take profits, stop losses, and customizable strategies to help you protect your capital. If you're skeptical, you can try out their demo mode, or you can trade with virtual funds and watch how the AI responds in real time. No risk, just insight. Links are below if you want to check out Cortex Trade for yourself. And as always, do your own research. All right, let's take a look at some of the other top headlines, and we'll start with SEC Chairman Paul Atkins.
Tokenization is an innovation, and we at the SEC should be focused on how do we advance innovation in the marketplace. And so I would argue here over the last several years, the SEC has been standing athwart efforts to innovate in the marketplace because things have been unclear. The rules have not been clear. We've had regulation through enforcement. That day is over. We are now, my whole goal is to make things transparent, from the regulatory aspect, and give people a firm foundation upon which to innovate and to come out with new products, and so that they know what they're doing.
So I think it's time to move beyond Bitcoin and meme coins into real-world assets.
Delaware Representative Sarah McBride using fear, which is the Democrats' only strategy, discussing the big, beautiful bill.
This bill is trickle-down cruelty, and people will die because of it.
My takeaway from this?
She had man hands.
Tom Tillis, who voted against the bill, vents his frustrations.
I'm tired of people not knowing who I am. No one gives a shit about me. Sometimes I come home and my wife won't even let me in. She's like, who the fuck is this guy? And why the hell is he wearing that gay little tie?
And VP Vance posted that a GOP congressman just texted me. I was undecided on the bill, but then I watched Hakeem Jeffries' performance, and now I am a firm yes.
I'm thankful for the leadership.
Today, Junior? I would just say this. This is a good bill because Democrats hate it.
I just want to say something that many of us learned when we were children. We were taught, it takes a lot longer to build a lie than to tell the simple truth.
Look, this jobs market is like the Energizer Bunny. Every single time we expect it to run out of steam, it just keeps going and going. So these new numbers show that the U.S. economy added 147,000 jobs in June. That was well ahead of the expectation of about 118,000, well ahead of some whispers that we heard on Wall Street of a sub 100,000 number. So this is indeed beating expectations. We were also expecting a slowdown. We did not get that. This is basically in line with May, which was revised higher. It's also good news. The unemployment rate was expected to go up. It didn't. It went down to 4.1%. That is a very healthy number. This is still relatively historically low. And again, it's below the 4.3% that we had expected.
And this happened as we also see this. Jobs of federal workers down for the 5th month in a row. I'm just wondering how we get James Brown's grandma included in next month's numbers.
Alligator Alcatraz is just the beginning. Next up is Shark Shawshank. Sharks, very dangerous, not the most reasonable of beasts. Some of you have seen the Discovery Channel and know what I'm talking about. Shark Week, very exciting. We'll live stream escape attempts, justice and economic stimulus in one. Rikers with grizzly bears is an option as well. We could use a snappier name, but the concept is strong to very strong.
Rudy Giuliani on the potential new mayor of New York City.
I think he's going to destroy New York City. I think this is a disaster time for New York City. This guy becomes mayor, the city is gone. People are leaving the city already. You can't say things like the things he's saying and not frighten the hell out of people. It has nothing to do with even 9/11. Had 9/11 not happened, he'd be an enemy of the city. He's espousing a philosophy that wants to destroy America, wants to destroy the Jewish people, wants to destroy the Christian people, and really would like to destroy all the Muslims who disagree with him. Plus, he's totally unqualified. He's a 33-year-old do-nothing from a rich family who's never accomplished a damn thing in his life.
In his nomination speech, said he will defy ICE and will not allow ICE to arrest criminal aliens in New York City. Your message to communist Zorhan Mandami?
Well, then we'll have to arrest him. We don't need a communist in this country, but if we have one, I'm going to be watching over him very carefully on behalf of the nation. We send him money. We send him all the things that he needs to run a government.
Jaguar proves to everyone the truth behind go woke, go broke, as sales plunged 97.5% in Europe after their disastrous copy-nothing rebrand. The company sold 1,961 units in April 2024, compared to just 49 vehicles in April 2025. U.S. Federal Housing Chair Bill Pulte calls for Congress to investigate Jerome Powell. Powell has kept rates artificially high to spite President Trump, causing millions of homeowners and buyers great harm.
So what is Powell doing here exactly?
Well, he's either stupid, which I don't think is the case, or he's just unpatriotic and he's actually wanting to damage, as he promised a year ago, Laura. He was willing to even damage the middle class if it controlled inflation. But in truth, the American people need to know that Jerome Powell nor any Fed has ever controlled inflation. And in fact, President Trump has had more to do with bringing inflation down in this country. Everywhere Jerome Powell is involved, prices are still up, mortgages are too expensive, and everywhere President Trump has had full and total control, the tariffs, taxes, regulations, inflation has come down, including oil production. We have the lowest gas prices in the country. How can the Treasury Secretary, the Commerce Secretary, President Trump, and the chairman of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac be wrong with one guy being right? And the only part of our economy that is frozen is housing. That's on Jerome Powell. He has literally set the middle class back a decade.
He's a moron.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio has officially announced that USAID has ceased all operations.
I just said I saved a bunch of money by switching to Geico.
And as many of us get ready to relax this weekend with a cold beer and some barbecue, I think I found the perfect corn on the cob for Harry Sisson. So you know I'll be watching and I'll keep you updated with any new information. If your child comes up to you and asks, if socialism doesn't work, then why do people still support it? You sit that kid down on the couch and tell them, simply, it's because they don't work either.
If you make fun of me one more time, I will exterminate all of you idiots.
Yeah, I agree with Kimmy Boy.
Kimmy, baby, if you ever talk to me that way again, you'll be eating nuclear warheads for breakfast. And Vlad, you can shut the f*** up. No one even likes you. Stop pretending to be a James Bond villain.
So please be careful as you're celebrating this weekend. It's not uncommon for July 4th to look like this, but come July 5th, you may look like this. I'll see you all on Monday, and I
promise you this, above all else, I'm going to be more obnoxious.
And if you have a couple more minutes, you may have missed my last video on how the crypto market becomes tax-free. Until the next time, be safe.